Hi there, welcome to Lentera. We're going to do our reading for next week. For the energy coming through this week, we have the Queen of Wands. This came in reversed. I'm noticing immediately the sunflowers readings for this week we talked a lot about nostalgia, looking back, feeling like our history was maybe warmer to us. So I think there's energy lingering this week that maybe the things that are creative in us or that bring us to action we're seeing as a integral part of our past, and we don't feel as empowered in our present to take to find that same creativity, to find that same inspiration. The oracle card that came through there we had for the reading today, which is the lizard and the pitcher plant. And as I talked about, this is really about the salamander in this card can lose its tail, but often the tail does not grow back as vibrantly. So there's definitely something this week that's about your energy, where you're at now that feels paler in comparison or less sufficient than what you may have had before. I'm going to bring in that Queen of Wands card again, but let's talk about where we're at for the beginning of the week. We have Knight of Wands. Huge amount of energy, kind of no time to stop and chat. We have there's a motif in our past, our present, and the short term, sort of later next week card with the sun here. The sun is continuing its journey. You can feel that warmth. So I think the start of the week here is going to be quite action oriented. I think you are going to feel inspired as the week goes on. The oracle card that came through here is the cat and lavender. It's an independence card. Cats are cunning, they're resourceful, and independent. And the Knight of Wands here is very much the same, right? We're propelling forward. It's really just the sun, the mountains, and your wand, and you have your crow with you. I'm going to come back to these cards a little bit because I think toward the end of the week for what's coming through, we have reverse Nine of Pentacles, and we got this Strength card. So I think what's really interesting here for the cards that relate to this current week, for what's coming up, and then sort of as the week progresses, we have these three suns. The Queen of Wands and the Nine of Pentacles are coming in reversed, and I see this as that feeling of warmth is actually being blocked. You're going to start the week with a lot of momentum. I think there's something coming through here in the latter half of the week where you're going to feel that brightness a little less. And that might be a mindset shift for you. That might be things in your environment that are impacting you. But what's really interesting also with this Knight of Wands, we have this independent oracle card. You are also kind of independently having achieved something. You've done it on your own. The Nine of Pentacles, you're almost finished with some project or some culmination, whatever resonates with you. I see something later in the week. I think your energy is going to be affected by something in your environment, whether that's other people, demands of work, maybe just demands on your health too, that's going to threaten your independence, this Knight of Wands energy. So you may not feel as resourceful or as motivated as the week persists, but I want to also point out that sun is there, it's with you, you just may not be feeling it. The oracle card that came through with the Nine of Pentacles was the elk and ash. And this is really, the elk travels long distances. This is a very strong animal. It has antlers, can be kind of intimidating, but also, not known for being a carnivore or anything like that. It's not an apex predator either. But this is a strength card. So I think the message here for the latter half of the week is remember your strength. Remember that while you might feel, maybe you're going to feel reduced in some way, you're actually really large. Your presence is very powerful. And you'll notice that the sun in the Nine of Pentacles is a lot bigger than the two suns that came in on these other cards. So just access your power. Remind yourself that you have more space than it might feel like as the week progresses. For the conflicting, resistant energy for next week, we have the Five of Pentacles, and immediately what came through here is we have a set of ravens with a lot of resources up in the tree, and then these two ravens that are below kind of bereft. This is traditionally known as the poverty card. But what's calling out to me here is that the sun shines on both. I think we have a sun motif. This is a dark card, but when the morning comes in this card, both groups of ravens are going to feel it. And I'm thinking back to the Two of Swords energy we had in a lot of readings for last week as well. There's something here about who you are when you're at your best and who you are when you're at your worst. But this is all perception. I see this actually as all one unit. These are all part of nature. These are all part of your consciousness. So I think there's something torn in you. And I think this has to do with that nostalgia look back. Like there's something that you feel used to be better, and a loss you're feeling now. But I think remind yourself that it's the same person. It has to do with that elk card too, is you've actually grown something. You've established a presence that you feel is not enough maybe. What came through with the Five of Pentacles was this ending card. This is the, in traditional tarot, this is the death card. So there is a change you're resisting. And again, this might have to do with you feeling like the direction you're headed in maybe isn't going to lead to what it used to. But I would embrace that change. I would think about what might be draining on your energy. Maybe you feel like it's going to lead to permanent poverty, permanent absence of something. But I don't see that here. I actually think there's a flow in your energy that you can find. And that flow, that kind of core self will actually maintain you no matter what happens, no matter what drains you're experiencing next week. For kind of the broader look ahead for week following next week and beyond, sort of like the propulsive energy, we got Queen of Cups, which came through in, I believe it was yesterday's reading. Oh no, I'm sorry. We got the 10 of Swords, but Queen of Cups had fallen out during this shuffling as well, so I paired it with this card. For Oracle, we got this Hawk and Thistle again. I actually love the 10 of Swords cards. It's such an extreme card. It's part of this 8, 9, 10 of Swords cycle. 8 being that we feel trapped in something, but we can walk away at any time. 9 being this intense feeling of guilt and shame that kind of haunts us every night that we can't release from. And 10 is the end of that cycle. And I think the card itself upright it speaks of defeat, right? But it's actually meaning that you have moved through this really negative cycle that's harming you, that's trapping you. So I think energy moving forward in the next month, the next 4 weeks, is actually about finishing this cycle of defeat. And the Queen of Cups coming out here is this emotional well-being. These are two nighttime cards, right? We have the moon, we have the dark motif here. But for next week, again, you're in sun. You may, in the latter half of the week, not be feeling the sun, but the sun is there. It shines on all parts of you. Maybe you're going to fear a loss, an absence of something. I would switch it. I would think to what you actually have and ending this cycle, this trapped cycle you're in. The hawk is, it has talons. It's a super, again, we have a theme of this independence that you have. It flies through the air, but it does have these sharp talons that it can use. I'm just going to consult my book very quickly on this one. This card is also in the reverse position here. It's about remembering your worth and guarding something with those talons. I would actually say the message here is, with the swords, I think you can be vulnerable. Maybe part of this theme is that you feel like you have to fight to keep something. to continue to have this abundance that's present in the Nine of Pentacles. I don't think you do. I think you can put the sword down, end of a cycle, put the talons away for next week. Queen of Cups, emotion, feeling the environment around you, letting that healing energy of nature find you. So yeah, put that sword down. There will definitely be things in your environment next week that feel like they're taking away from you. But again, remember the sun. It shines on everybody. It shines on all aspects of you. There is sunshine coming through here. So remember that elk energy. Remember this large sun. I hope this is helpful, and have a great weekend. We'll do some additional look aheads this weekend as well.